Welcome to the MFR Coaches Podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hammell. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the MFR Coaches Podcast. I'm Heather Hammell, the MFR Coach, and I want to talk to you today before you sign a new lease, before you move to a bigger space, or before you take on more overhead. And if this is you, I just want you to pause and really think this through, at least listen to this entire episode before you make any decisions. Sometimes moving can feel super exciting and just like the best because it's growth. It feels like the next logical step. But if your move isn't based on facts and data, it could actually be the thing that ends up slowing down your profit and creating more stress than it ever does create opportunity. So let's talk about when to move, when to stay put, and even when it might be time to downsize. Before you pack a single box, let's make sure you ask yourself these 4 questions. Why am I moving? How much can I actually afford to pay each month? Is this move to make me feel better? Is this move so that I can eventually do something else? If you're moving because you're uncomfortable, restless, or bored, that's not necessarily a good business reason to move. It's a feeling, it's not really a fact. And that feeling could pass, and it could also be changed easily based on what you're thinking. If you're moving because you think it will make you look more successful, that's not a strategy either. That's just a story your brain is telling you. If I have this office, then people will think X about me. That's not how business growth works. Your lease is one of the biggest decisions that will affect your profit overall, so you have to look at it through the lens of numbers and not emotions. If you aren't already paying yourself the salary that you want to be making, don't take on a bigger lease. If you aren't already fully booked, don't take on a bigger lease. If you're moving to eventually create a second offer, don't move until after that offer already exists, has been tested, and you know that it sells. And if you're moving just to look bigger or more official, don't do that either. I've made this mistake before. I ended up in a lease that was higher than the mortgage on my 4-bedroom house. The person I moved into this place with lasted less than a month. I don't even know if they ever saw more than one client in the space. And I was stuck with that lease for 5 years. While I could afford that, it was money that didn't move my business forward. And I just did the math on this and I paid $150,000 in rent over those 5 years. Imagine if I had just paid that money to myself in salary. I would have been one rich biatch back then. But instead, 50% of my income went to rent year after year after year after year after year for 5 years straight. That's the kind of decision that I don't want you to make. And it didn't feel good. And I wasn't proud of it, okay? And there are always going to be valid reasons to move, right? Things like you don't feel safe in your space. It's not safe for clients. Someone could get injured. The landlord doesn't maintain the property or live up to their side of the lease. You can actually afford more and upgrading doesn't affect your take-home pay or cause you to work more hours than your body can comfortably handle. And another legitimate reason to move is accessibility. If you constantly have clients who can't access the space because there's no elevator, the parking lot isn't proper, or there's no bathroom access, and it's a pattern, like let's say 20 people have said this to you, it might be worth considering a move. But if it's just one client and you're feeling uncomfortable because someone might ask for access, that's not a reason to restructure your entire business around that one situation, right? You can easily meet them somewhere else or go to their home, right? You can solve for that problem in a different way. But if you have a legitimate reason to create more accessibility, you have a lot of clients that are in wheelchairs or can't do stairs, Those are things to consider. But again, it needs to be more than just one person making the request. Our clients can make all kinds of requests. Doesn't mean we make business decisions from one person's request. If you've already made the move and you're feeling the pinch, it might be time to reevaluate that decision. And I want you to know that downsizing does not mean failure. It means that you're prioritizing your profit and the sustainability of your business. And that is what flexible and smart CEOs and business owners do. So how do you know when it's time to downsize? It might be time to downsize if you don't want to rent out other rooms just to cover the cost of the lease. It might be time to downsize if you're not able to pay yourself because you're spending so much on your lease. It might be time to downsize if you have more rooms than you actually need. It might be time to downsize if you want to increase your take-home pay and reduce your stress. That's exactly what I did when my lease ended. I downsized into a one-room space. It was $500 a month all-inclusive, and suddenly I had way more money and way less stress, and I was more quote unquote successful than ever. And I had the profit and loss statement to show it. Let's talk about what to avoid before signing a lease. This comes up for a lot of people inside my program. And so I just want to tell you some of the things that I would tell them. This isn't everything, but this is something to consider. Lease agreements. Let's discuss these for a minute because this is where a lot of therapists get trapped. You don't read your lease agreement. So first, read your lease completely and make sure you understand all the terms. Make sure you understand what this lease covers and what it doesn't. And do not sign anything that feels off or overly controlling. And do not be afraid to suggest edits because most people are willing to work with you. And if they're not, also a red flag. So avoid leases that require you to use their online booking system. So anything that's going to make the person that you're leasing from in charge of either your schedule, your client list, their emails, like anything where someone else could have access to your client data, that's a red flag. Avoid leases that prevent you or tie your rate into another person's rate in the business. So anything that prevents you from raising your rates or running your business in the way that you want to, anything that requires you to be there certain days, no, that's a red flag. Avoid leases that give the landlord or the owner access to your client emails or records or data. Red flag. Don't do it. If someone else is collecting your client data or controlling your schedule or your pricing, they basically own your clients and you're basically working for them. And that is not okay. When you are in a rent situation, you're not even a contractor. You are a leaseor from them. If they are handling your money in any way, you are actually a 1099 contractor or maybe even an employer. And it's probably not a legal situation. So make sure you know all of the ins and outs of what that lease says before you get into it. And I don't care if using their system saves you $30 a month. You can buy your own scheduling software. If you can't afford that, you need to work with me so that you can afford that. Your scheduling system is one of the things that makes you money month after month. It's a top priority in your business, a top business priority. So don't be afraid to pay for that. It's going to make you money. Basically, you want to rent space, not give away your autonomy. If someone else is putting rules on you about what you can charge or how you can run your business, that's a huge red flag. That's the moment to start planning your exit if you're in that situation or never get into it in the first place. Your take-home pay and profit should always be at the top of your mind. Otherwise, why are you doing any of this at all? No one loves to work for free. I don't care who you are and how you tell me this, how many times. You will enjoy your business a lot more when it actually pays you. Your office lease might seem like a simple operational decision, but it's actually a leadership decision. Like you are a leader in your business, and that decision affects your financial freedom. It's going to affect your nervous system, and it's going to affect your overall ability to grow your business. So before you move, make sure you ask yourself, what is the true cost of this? I really wish that I would have done the math and just taken my lease times 12 times 5 years and seen that I was going to pay $150,000 over the lifetime of that lease. It would have been a no for me, but I didn't take the time to do that. I didn't even know to do that. Ask yourself, what is the true cost of this financially, emotionally, and physically in order to keep up with the cost of that lease? Does it require that you take out a second job? If it does, that's a red flag. And I don't care how you talk yourself into that second job. It's the scenery, it's the camaraderie, it's the facility usage. I don't care what you have to do to talk yourself into it. It is a red flag. If you have to take on a second job in order to afford the lease you have for your MFR business, your MFR business doing your one offer at your one price point should pay for all of the bills inside that business, including your take home pay. It should allow you to build your savings, your working capital, your tax accounts, all of that. Sometimes the smartest move is to stay put or even to scale back. And I just want to remind you again that that is not failure. That's flat out wisdom. I was today's years old when I figured out like, oh, I could just downsize. Like I could get out of this lease, or this lease is coming to an end. What's my next move? Definitely not staying here. I am moving. And if you've already made a move and it's not working out, I just want you to know that's okay too. You can always make new decisions later. You might not be able to get out right away, but you might be able to renegotiate, sublease, or simply plan better for the future and have an exit plan for where you're at now. But you have to be willing to look at the problem and not avoid it. You have to be willing to feel whatever comes up for you around this. Maybe you're feeling shame, so you're avoiding it, or maybe you feel dumb. Whatever the thing is, I just want you to know how normal it is to make business decisions and have to make new ones. It doesn't mean anything has gone wrong. What it does mean is like, oh, I just have awareness around this thing. I don't like the outcome of this, so I'm going to make a new decision. It's okay. We do it all the time. I'm not ashamed to tell you I spent $150,000 on a lease that I got stuck in. I'm still alive. I've still made hundreds of thousands of dollars in my business. I'm still okay, right? Everything is okay. Doesn't make me dumb. I just didn't know what I didn't know. That's why I'm sharing this with you. Always know your numbers. Avoidance never helps. The more you look at your financials, the easier it is to make decisions from facts instead of feelings. So before you move or upgrade or expand, check your motivations and check your math. Is this move necessary? Will it actually increase my profit, my pay, and my peace? Make sure the answer is yes to all four of those things. The move is necessary, it improves my profit, it improves my pay, and it improves my peace. Make sure the answer is yes to all of those. Business growth doesn't always mean more space. Sometimes it means more clarity and more calm and less overhead. Less is sometimes more. If this episode hit home for you, make sure you share it with another MFR therapist who might be thinking about moving. And if you want coaching on how to make smart financial and leadership decisions in your business, make sure you sign up to join me inside Foundations or my next round of Beyond 100K. Let's make the next move you take the right one for you and your business. No more guessing, no more waiting, no more burying your head in the sand. All right, everybody, I'll see you on another episode of the MFR Coaches Podcast. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to the MFR Coaches Podcast. If you're ready to grow your myofascial release practice, make sure to sign up for my next free training. These live webinars are designed to help you take real steps towards building a fully booked, profitable business. You can save your seat and find the latest dates at themfrcoach.com/webinar. And if you're looking for more support, the Foundations program is now open year-round. Inside, you'll get coaching, tools, and community to help you get fully booked and stay that way without burning out. One last thing before you go. My brand new book, Your MFR Practice Starts Here, is now available. It's a must-read for any MFR therapist who wants to build a business that actually works. You can grab your copy on Amazon and get your companion guide by going to themfrcoach.com/book. Start implementing right away. I'll see you in the next episode.